Converted Man here. Hey, Minute Physics did a video about portals. So I want to talk about portals. I like portals. Yeah. Okay, so what if you had a portal at sea level and one at Mount Everest and you stepped through? What would happen? Would you die? Pretty sure you'd die, like immediately, or very quickly at any rate. So to back up this idea, I got a couple of things here to look at. So pressure injuries from scuba diving is decompression sickness, often called the bends. Decompression sickness happens when a scuba diver ascends too quickly. Divers breathe compressed air that contains nitrogen. At higher pressure underwater, the nitrogen gas goes into the body's tissues. That doesn't cause a problem with divers down in the water, but if they rise to the surface, and if they rise to the surface at the right rate, it can slowly leave the body through the lungs. But if they rise too quickly, the nitrogen forms bubbles in the body. It can cause tissue and nerve damage. In extreme cases, it can cause paralysis or death if the bubbles are in the brain. So, yeah, is this just because of the air thing that they have, though? Or would that happen to you anyways? So, and then there's also altitude sickness, which is related. And what are the symptoms of altitude sickness? You feel nauseous, lightheaded, you might vomit, have a headache. Different levels of altitude sickness have different symptoms. So it could be all these horrible things. Um, there's severe altitude sickness. It's an emergency because you have shortness of breath, inability to walk, confusion, fluid buildup in the lungs or brain. So, and then HAPE is when fluid builds up in the lungs. So that pretty much you're screwed. So I think that yeah, if you went from sea level to Mount Everest, uh, you would die. You'd be dead. Portal problems with the idea of portal in general. I typed that in as I said that out loud. I'm brilliant. So yeah, Minute Physics did their little video. I'll just show that real quick. I'm not gonna play it because they'll eat me. See, they did this, so I'm like, yeah, they're talking about it. I want to talk about portals. Ah, yeah. So anyway, so and then that's linked in the description. So yeah, I think if you did this, if you did, no matter which way you did it, you'd probably die. Like if you went from Mount Everest to sea level, you would die, and if you went the other way around, you'd just die. So you would have to do is like you'd have to have portals, uh, like at different levels. Like you'd come out like portal 1 first, and you'd chill out there for however long, and then you'd have another portal that you'd go into and out of like higher up, you know, because other like here's like a you. So here, let me just yeah, I know what I'm doing. So like you'd go from this one to that one, and then you chill out in this little house for a while or whatever. Then you go out, come out there, you go in there, and then that would go higher and higher until you were fully accommodated to it, and then you'd be able to, you know, get out and be safe. And then you have to reverse that for going back down because your body just couldn't adjust to it. But then there's other questions like because this is always open to this, like what does that do with the atmosphere around it? Like all the air is going in, wind is coming in, so like the cold air would come out of this portal, wouldn't it? And then that would affect this area, and then the warm air would affect that area. So that'd probably screw things up. Again, if you had it like in a house, it wouldn't matter too much. Uh, so maybe that's the solution, just have them in like sealed houses. But if you put it outside, that's what I'm wondering about. Of course, it's all made up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it's interesting. Like, I don't know why it's interesting. It is interesting though to think about. Like, uh, yeah, maybe it ignores atmosphere like Stargate. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, yeah. So then, like, I'm like, okay, forget about that. Like, what if, no, I don't want to say it. So, what if the whole thing is in outer space? Like, you put your portal in outer space, right? And you put your other portal here on Earth, you know, um, what's going to happen? Well, like, all the oxygen will get, is it sucked out or pushed out? I don't know, whatever. It will go bye bye. Like, all the oxygen will be like, oh my word, I'm out here, and like, you did that in the Portal game where you shot the moon and like you immediately went to the moon and everything was getting like pushed out of the portal. And so the air was also there. That's how you could breathe. But I think, but it was also very cold there, so you probably were dying. But yeah, so if you had a portal on Earth and one in space, probably screw things up. I don't know how fast. I guess it would depend on how like big the portal was. But like, what if you put it at the bottom of the ocean instead? Now our portal has to change color because, whatever. Anyways, so but this portal's not in the ocean; it's on land, but that one is. Like, then that would, like, all the water would start coming out. Yeah, that's what would happen. All right. Anyways, yeah. So, um, there's some more problems with portals there. So hopefully I'll become famous because I talked about portals, and a big YouTuber, Minute Physics, talked about portals. Therefore, I talking about portals, she'll make me famous. That's how that works, right? Yeah. All right. No, maybe not. I think we all know what we would do with a portal if we had a portal. I don't think we'd use it to travel the world or go to outer space. Come on. We all know what we would do with the portal. Come on. You know. You know. The thing I'd be worried about though with portals, like you step through it, you know, you're immediately wherever. But like as you step through it, if it turns off, you're screwed because you're cut in half, right? XCD made a thing. Yeah, exactly. Drain the oceans with portals to Mars. Yeah, exactly. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. It's fun to think about these sort of things that don't exist. So next time I'll be talking about God. All right, and I need more people to interview. I'm gonna be looking for people to interview that have different positions on different topics, so that all the topics, so I can piss off everybody. Yeah, that's a great idea. No, not just piss off everyone, but I want to learn things. I want to understand people and their ideas and their views and why they have them. I want all the things. I want to know everything. Anyways, thanks for watching. I guess this was weird. Portals, wee. But seriously, put it in the comments. You know what you would do. Come on. Come on.